Hello everybody and welcome to the Gamer Gauntlet. I am Andrew Will, aspecticor, your host for this evening, and I'm joined by tonight's very special guest. His name is negneg TM. He's a fellow Atriarch Leech and a member of S3K. Negneg, say hi to everyone for me.
Yo, what's up everybody?
It's so exciting to have you on the show, Negneg. I'll just run you over a few of the rules, a bit of what we expect, and then we'll be able to get right into it. So the Gamer Gauntlet contains 14 questions that will increase in difficulty, but also bring a greater reward as we move through them. Okay, you have 2 lifelines. One of them is going to be that you can call a friend, and you'll be able to call a friend for 20 seconds. The other power-up that you're going to have is 50-50. Now, you can only use these power-ups once throughout the whole run. And the 50-50, I'll just eliminate 2 of the answers for you, and you'll get to select from the remaining. If you successfully answer all 14 questions, you'll win bits, gifted subs even, and be put on my auto-host list. But really what's big is that you'll be put on the Ledger of Champions forever. Now that's going to be a box below my stream. Every streamer who's ever made it to the end will have their name up there, immortalized in stone. So with all of that out of the way, are you ready to begin?
I'm ready to go. I'm so excited.
Fantastic, Negneg. Let's take you to the first question. Known for running at supersonic speed to get rings, this hedgehog was first introduced by Sega to compete with Mario.
I'm thinking it's Sonic the Hedgehog.
That's your final answer? You're feeling confident about that, or?
Final answer.
Unfortunately, you were absolutely correct. Great job. Fantastic first question. Should have been a Hail Mary, and it was. So you're doing great so far. Now, let's see what that got you. That question only nailed you 5 bits. But, you know, it's not bad. It could be worse. Second question. Agent 47 is the lethal protagonist of this video game series made by IO Interactive.
You know, it could be A, but I am thinking it's B, Hitman.
You're not thinking it's SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom?
Yeah, I'm not thinking it's SpongeBob.
It is a tantalizing answer, so it could have been that. Fortunately, you were correct. Agent 47, of course, as we all know. We're moving out of the butter zone. This is where the questions are going to start getting a little bit trickier, but I think it should still be okay for you. It should still be fine. Commonly referred to as CS:GO, what is the full title of this highly competitive first-person shooter released by Valve in 2012?
I'm gonna lock in C, Counter-Strike Global Offensive.
Wow, chat, I can't believe it. It was going to be a tough question, but he doesn't even care. He just blazes right through it. I'm honestly surprised. Did you really have no trouble with that one at all? Or?
I really had no trouble with that one at all. I'm just
fantastic.
You
can tell he's a true gamer.
Yep.
And we're moving on to the 50-bit question here. Created by From Software, this incredibly challenging trilogy of 3D dungeon crawlers are heralded as true classics by some and hated by others who were told too much to get good.
So I know it's definitely not Paper Mario because that's a Nintendo game, right?
Right.
And it's also definitely not The Witcher because The Witcher is made by CG Project Red.
Oh, interesting catch there. So you've narrowed it down.
Yeah, and it's also not Devil May Cry, so it has to be D, Dark Souls.
So you're gonna lock in D, Dark Souls as your final answer?
Yes, I'm gonna lock in D, Dark Souls.
Let's take a look. He was correct. It was, of course, the Dark Souls trilogy. Incredibly frustrating for some and rewarding for others.
Not for me, I beat it on keyboard.
Chat, he just won the Gamer Gauntlet. He doesn't have to answer the rest. You beat Dark Souls on keyboard. Chat, he's kind of a gamer. I'm impressed. Well, let's see if you continue to impress us, Negneg, as we move on to the 100-bit question.
Okay.
With over 200 million copies sold, what is the best-selling video game of all time?
See, I'm torn between Minecraft and Tetris, but my thought process here is that Tetris has been around a lot longer. I'm gonna go with Tetris. I'm gonna go with Tetris. I'm confident that it's Tetris.
I am so sorry, Negneg, to report this. The correct answer, shown here in green, is actually Minecraft. Oh no! Oh my goodness! Hold on a second, I'm getting... Oh, production. Production's talking to me.
Yeah.
Okay, yes?
What are they saying?
Uh-huh. Okay? Yeah, all right, I'll talk to him about the deal. Now, normally at this point in the show, Negneg would be eliminated. But my production staff has talked to me, and they've convinced me to provide him with a deal. You can continue with both your power-ups, and with the same opportunity, you get one more shot. But if you lose, if you fail to complete the Gamer Gauntlet, you have to put me on your auto-host.
Deal. I'll take it.
Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen.
Losing!
He's back in the game, and we're going to give him credit for this question. Definitely don't be afraid to use those combos, or those power-ups, I mean. Question number 6. This game surpassed $1 billion in sales a mere 3 days after its release in 2013, making it the fastest entertainment property to gross over $1 billion in revenue. If you didn't know, entertainment property means game, movie, anything. So, is it Knack 2, The Witcher 3, BioShock Infinite, or Grand Theft Auto 5?
So as funny as it would be to say Knack, it's definitely not Knack. Knack sucks. It's definitely not that. I also think it's not BioShock Infinite, and it's not The Witcher 3. So I have a feeling it's Grand Theft Auto 5. I remember when Grand Theft Auto 5 came out, that literally everybody I knew bought it, especially because it was such a long time between the sequel, like the back Grand Theft Auto 4 and Grand Theft Auto 5.
Right.
I feel like and the game has been out for that amount of time, so.
Interesting.
I'm gonna say D, Grand Theft Auto 5.
He's locking in his answer, D. Let's take a look. And he's done it. It was the most successful media release as of the date of 2013. It surpassed every other media release that's ever happened ever. So it was very notable, and congratulations for you for relying on anecdotes and getting the question. Let's take a look. You've won yourself 150 bits. We're now moving on to the 200-bit questions. While it received several awards, including Best Game Direction and Best Score, after its release in 2019, this Hideo Kojima game was received with mixed reviews.
So I know it's definitely not Outlast, and it's definitely not Detroit Become Human, because neither of those are Hideo Kojima games.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure that Metal Gear Solid 5 was met with great reviews when it came out.
Interesting.
And that people panned it to be one of the games of the year.
Oh.
And I do remember that a lot of people disliked Death Stranding because all it was walking around with a big pile of boxes on your back. But it did have a good score, and it was an interesting game.
Did you play the game yourself?
I did play the game myself, and I kind of felt it was like, okay, well, it's not great.
Some redeeming aspects there, but not the complete package you're looking for.
Not a perfect game like Metal Gear Solid 5. So I'm gonna have to go with Death Stranding. Hey.
Okay, Negneg. Well, for 300 bits, let's take a look. It was Death Stranding. Congratulations. Claps to Negneg. That was a difficult question, to be sure. Let's move on to question 8. For 300 bits. Let's take a look. In Speedrunning Mario 64, runners will perform which move, abbreviated as a BLJ, in order to skip the endless staircase?
So I speedrun Super Mario 64, so I know the answer to this.
Oh, you do? I didn't know you speedrun that game. That's quite interesting.
Well, I don't. Well, saying speedrun, it's a little bit of a overstatement. I have used the tricks in the game that speedrunners use.
So I've done a similar thing as well with Dark Souls, but I would say you're a speedrunner. Definitely, we put you in there.
Sure. So I'm gonna have to lock in C, backwards long jump.
And of course, he has a good reason to be confident. He knew his stuff there, and it was pretty clear. Now that one Negneg, 300 bits, we're starting to move into the real territory here. Negneg, I do have to remind you, you have a 50-50, and you have a call a friend left. Be sure not to forget about those. Question 9. Now referred to as Bronze, what was the original lowest rank in competitive Rocket League?
So here's the thing, right? You asked the wrong person this question because I have been playing Rocket League since Season 1.
I was banking on the fact I knew you were a Rocket League player. And I had a feeling, since you said washed Rocket League God and the game's been around for like 6 years, that you probably have taken time to get washed.
The answer is C, Prospect.
That's your final answer?
That's my final answer, 100%.
And he's correct. Of course, as he probably knew. I'll be calling my production staff later and firing some of them for improper research. Moving on to the 10th question. Could get yourself 500 bits here, negneg. This would be a great boost to the channel.
Huge $5. I need this.
Which of these games was released first?
It definitely can't be Madden 04. Melee definitely would have been released before Madden 04 because of the GameCube, and the GameCube was really pretty relevant around the turn of the century.
Interesting how you're using the console to sort of tie it chronologically.
Yeah. Same thing with Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy VII, I believe, was on the original PlayStation, so it definitely could not have been like any later than Madden 04.
True. It's an interesting.
But the one I'm not really sure about is Portal. The original Portal, I literally have no idea when it came out. I think I'm going to use the 50-50 here.
So we can tell you right off the bat that Portal and Madden 04 are not the correct answer. Is it Final Fantasy VII or is it Super Smash Bros. Melee?
Thinking about the way the games look, I feel like Final Fantasy VII has to be the older game, so I'm gonna lock in A, Final Fantasy VII.
Well, negneg, it's been fun, but we're gonna keep going because you got the correct answer. Final Fantasy VII, released in, I believe, 1997 or 1998. Super Smash Bros. Melee was next in 2001. Madden 04, of course, 03, 04. And then finally, Portal was the latest one in 2007. Very impressive that you worked your way through based on the visual part of the game, because I think that was probably the best way to do it. Well, congratulations, you've answered the 10th question correctly. Quite difficult. And now you're moving on to the real tough challenges. Now, I am going to have to take that 50-50 off of the screen. You no longer have that power-up available, but you do still have the ability to call a friend. Let's take a look at question 11. Which of these games did Parthenax, the dragon, appear in?
I think I got this. So, I'm thinking that Parthenax is he's the dragon that's at the top of the what is the mountain called? In Elder Scrolls Skyrim. I'm pretty sure the dragon who the Greybeards talk to in Skyrim. If I'm not mistaken. I just feel like I have a very vivid memory. I put a lot of hours in that game on console and on PC. It's 100% on Dark Souls 3. I beat Dark Souls 3. I've also played Shadow of Mordor. I know that it's not an enemy. And I also just don't feel like that's a World of Warcraft boss. I feel like it would have to be a dungeon boss if it was.
Right.
And it just doesn't feel like it would be. So I'm going to lock in C, Skyrim.
Okay, well, let's take a look at how you did. And congratulations, you were correct. Those vivid memories that you had as a child served you well. I remembered Parthenax too. That was one of the first adventure games I ever played, and damn, that guy was cool. I loved his voice too. The voice acting was fantastic.
The whole game is fantastic. It just sucks they keep re-releasing it over and over again, perpetually.
Yeah. Ah, fuck, dude, that does suck, actually.
But where's Elder Scrolls 6? Bethesda, come on.
Oh, it's coming, don't worry. Well, and you know what's coming up next as well, negneg? This next question here. Question 12. Let's take a look. Rocket League was set to debut alongside which of these games for the 2020 Olympics as the first Olympic video game based events?
It's C, Street Fighter 5. I know 100% that was the game that was alongside Rocket League and Intel World Open.
Okay, so you're locking 100%. In the answer C.
Yep, C.
And he was correct, very confident. And now I do have to wonder, were you following it closely when the Olympics brought on video games?
Well, because Rocket League was involved, I was obviously very interested in what was going to happen. I do remember in the announcement, Street Fighter 5 being there alongside Rocket.
Well, I can tell you that I certainly didn't remember this myself, so I'm impressed. Anything past question 10, I'm honestly I've been impressed. We had a hiccup at the start there, but we've added some stakes to the game, truly. I think that's what's important. This next question, 500 bits and 3 gifted subs. Let's take a look. Vladimir Makarov appeared as a secondary antagonist in this franchise before he became the central villain in the 4th entry of this series.
So I have actually very vivid memories of this game that this person is the villain of. I remember playing it when I was like 10 and I wasn't supposed to be playing it at a friend's house. You know, he was playing the campaign mode. And I know that Makarov is a main antagonist who becomes he becomes an antagonist in Call of Duty D.
Call of Duty D, locking in D for his final answer. Let's take a look. Congratulations, negneg. You've answered the penultimate question correctly, and you've earned yourself 3 gifties, 500 bits. But now we come to the final question, negneg. Now,
the only one that matters, really.
The only one that's going to take you and put you on the ledger of champion. It's not about the bits. It's not about the subs. It's about immortalizing your legacy. I do have to remind you that you still have the Call a Friend power-up available. And let's just get into it. The final question. Now, computer programming, computers, they're essential. They're the backbone upon which video games have been built. Who is recognized as the first author of a computer program?
I think I'm going to call a friend.
Who do you think you're going to call?
He's somebody I already had said it before. He's a chatter of mine. His name is Marshall. And like a 3-month sub or something like that. I think I'm going to call him. Marshall. Who is recognized as the first author of a computer program?
So first things first, I'd like to point out it's kind of weird, champ. Negneg doesn't know his woman's history. I think it's deserved, you know. But the answer is D, Ada Lovelace. She's referred to as the first programmer, per se.
Yeah, I knew this last question was gonna be something bullshit like this.
Oh, it's a bullshit question, is it?
Way harder than the other ones.
Well, I mean, it's kind of subjective.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go D, Ada Lovelace.
Now, H-Rock, I don't know if you ever remember the one time he said, "Never listen to chat." Have you ever heard him say that?
Is he right?
Well, unfortunately, for H-Rock, he is wrong. Negneg is the first winner of the Gamer Gauntlet. Congratulations. It's been quite the run. Not only has he found himself on top on the Ledger of Champions forever, but he will find himself on my auto-host list, and with 5 gifties and 500 bits next time I see him.
And obviously, I was in it for the glory and not the money. Who cares about the money? It's all about the glory at the end of the day.